Oh, let's turn this on. Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Noel Jabber. Yesterday and today, there's a lot to talk about. NFL draft, no more mock draft, just straight NFL draft. Finally happened. Talk about that. It's it's gonna be honestly for a pretty good while on this show. Honestly, a lot of podcasting around. It's gonna be NFL draft talk, NBA playoff talk, and honestly, that's probably it. There really isn't. You got regular season MLB, but a lot of people don't just go out of their way to talk about that. So you're gonna have a lot of MLB or NBA and NFL talk as recently. But like I said, I'll be talking about the NFL draft, some surprises within the draft, like teams that traded up, traded down, some surprise picks, players that's on the board. Then we're gonna go to the NBA, talk about the games from last night, preview the games for tonight and the weekend. Finally, to end it off, talk about Elijah Arenas, the son of Gilbert Arenas. He got into a coma, which is brutal. So I'll touch on that so everybody knows what's going on with that. Before we get to any of that though, tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it shows you guys care about the content that we're putting out, and we do put out the best content that we possibly can. So if you do want to tip or donate and you're in the live stream, feel free to do that with the super chat and sticker feature. If you don't want to tip and if you are in the live stream or not in the live stream, you want to tip or donate, feel free to do that with the two links in the bio and in the description. But even if you don't want to tip or donate, you still want to show support, feel free to do that by leaving a comment in the live stream comment section. I'll see that immediately. I'll respond to that as soon as I see it. YouTube comment section or the shorts, I'll see that as soon as you post them. So make sure to leave a comment if you want to talk about sports. But like I said, if you do want to tip or donate and show support, if you're in the live stream, feel free to do that with a super chat and sticker feature. If you're not in the live stream, the two links in the bio and in the description. With that being said, let's get in the segment number one for the day, the NFL draft recap. The NFL draft finally happened after we were all waiting for about 2 weeks, that final 2 week stretch, and it's finally come around. It's finally started. The first round happened yesterday, and there was some pretty good. It went relatively for the players drafted. It went into the top three at least. It went to the order a lot of people thought. I had obviously Cam Ward at 1, Travis Hunter at 2, and then Abdul Carter at 3. So those three at the top three in that order, I thought was gonna happen regardless. I didn't think the Browns would trade down with Jacksonville to go from the 5 to the 2 spot, but they did, and they got obviously Tennessee got Cam Ward at 1, which is a great pick for them. They need a good quarterback, and he's their guy. Jacksonville, they need a lot, and Travis Hunter is gonna be that guy to help fill in a lot of those slots that they need filled. Receiver and cornerback are gonna be two of the Jacksonville's biggest weaknesses. And they just solved, or I wouldn't say solved completely, but have definitely helped improve that issue with Travis Hunter on being drafted. Abdul Carter, I have him going through to the Giants. I'm pretty sure a lot of people had him going to the Giants as well. That pick was no brainer. Abdul Carter is the best defensive end, the edge in college football, and that defensive line with the Giants is kind of scary. Kayvon Thibodeau on one side, Abdul Carter the other, Dexter Lawrence in the middle. That team is going to be a very, very good team. Then you got the Patriots. Lyman out of LSU. Great pick for them. My computer froze a little bit there. Sorry about that. But, they had the 4 pick. They got Will Campbell, offensive tackle out of LSU. One of the best linemen in this year's draft, and that's why he went first. He was a 2-time All-American, phenomenal player. And if you saw his quote, his little media conference when he got drafted, what he said about Drake, man, was amazing. He said when the reporter asked him, how are you going to, help this team succeed? He said, I'm going to fight and die to make sure we succeed. And I thought that was just a really, really good thing for him to say. He obviously, he's a good lineman. And the Patriots are in need as a solid line. I thought they were going to either go with a lineman or a receiver. So I'm kind of glad they went with the lineman because that's what they needed, a lineman. And Will Campbell is going to be one of those guys who really helps out that offensive line. He's a leader. He was a leader on LSU. Phenomenal lineman as well. I mean, he's like 6'6", 320. He's a beast. He's fast. He's really strong. He's really going to help build up that organization from what they're at right now, which is, not a very good team, only having 3 or 4 wins last year, and them getting, a good offensive lineman like that. Maybe get another 1 or 2 of them in the draft this year, and then, go get some skill guys, and they'll be the Patriots will be a very contending, very good team, very improved from last year for sure. Number 5, the Cleveland Browns. They traded down from the 2 South Jacksonville. It was supposed to be them at 2, but they traded down and got a dog in Mason Graham, probably the best defensive tackle in the game or in college football this year. Phenomenal player for Michigan. He had a great year. He helped lead them to a national championship 2 years prior on that defensive side of the ball. He was your anchor, and he's an absolute beast. He's like 6'4", 290, 300. He's fast. He can clog up anything that needs to be done on the defensive side of the ball. He's there to get it done. And he's just going to be, a phenomenal player for the organization. Then we got number 6, Ashton Jeanty. Jeanty went to the Raiders at 6, and I think everybody who's following the draft saw that one coming. Jeanty has been working out with the Raiders for a while now. He's been kept in close contact with. He's been around the facility. And Pete Carroll coming in. Whoa, sorry about that. Pete Carroll coming in. He needs, he wants a good running back. And he's, coming his first year in Las Vegas, brought in Geno Smith, and he's like, I got to get some good power behind Geno Smith. And Ashton Jeanty is that guy. Insanely fast for his size. He's quick. He's pretty strong. People bounce right off of him. He's just a beast. He makes people miss. When he lowers his shoulder, you're going on the ground. He's just an absolute tank of running back. Best running back in this draft by far. And he's really going to I really think he will help that Raiders offense. Him and that Brock Bowers, just that core right there of those two. One of the best running backs probably the best running back in the draft. One of the best young players overall in the draft. And then a second-year Brock Bowers, who was an all-star last year as a rookie. He's an absolute freak. That Raiders offense, if they get a solid receiver or two in the rest of this draft, they will be a very good team on the offensive side of the ball this year. Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry. The Jets, they tackled their offensive line problem. Offensive tackle out of Missouri, Armand Membu. Very good offensive tackle from Missouri. Probably the best in the country. Behind Will Campbell, second best in the country. He was phenomenal for them the entire year. Missouri, they're not really a powerhouse in a lot of sports, but this year, in the past few years in football, they have been good because I feel like their offensive line is a really huge part, really key part for them to, succeed. And he was kind of the leader of that team for them this year and the past year as well. 8, from Arizona, the receiver, Tat McMillan. I'm not saying his full name, I'm saying Tat. It's a lot easier. But there was the best receiver in the draft class is the number 1 receiver in the draft class to Charlotte. He is a young superstar. He's phenomenal. He was the best receiver in this year's draft class by far. And he, is the first receiver off the board for a reason. He's phenomenal. He was, he's the reason Arizona, were on the map or on the radar. It was because of his game, because the way he played. He was just the best receiver. He's like, how can I compare him to like an NFL? Like his ceiling, I guess you could say, in the NFL is probably like a Cooper Kupp. Maybe no. I'm gonna give like an OPJ. Like OPJ is one of the best receivers of all time. I love him, but like I'm not gonna give him. I'm not gonna give his rookie like Antonio Brown or like Calvin Johnson. I'll give him like a very solid receiver who's all time. So I'll give like OBJ, and he's a phenomenal receiver. He's really good. He's big. He's quick. He can make catches. He's really fast off his feet. His routes are very, very pure, very clean. And Carolina got a really good receiver in Tat McMillan. Offensive tackle out of Texas for New Orleans, Calvin Banks Jr. Texas is one of the best offensive teams in college football this year, and they were strong on all aspects: tight end, receiver, quarterback, running back, all that. And their offensive line was no exception. Calvin Banks made a lot of play. If you watched the game against Arizona State in their playoff game, his name was brought up a lot because of how many big plays he's making. getting downfield blocking done, get off his assignment, co-find a linebacker. He was doing a lot for the Longhorns in that game. And he's another reason the Texans were so good. Texas was so good was because of his ability to play. At number 10, the first tight end off the board. People thought it'd be Tyler Warren. Guess again, Colston Loveland out of Michigan to Chicago. I didn't think the Bears really needed to draft a tight end that early. I think they should have gone, maybe for a lineman, because I think Cole Kmet is a good tight end for the Bears. He's not, the greatest tight end ever, but I don't think he's that bad where you need to go draft a tight end first round. But I mean, they got a great tight end out of Colston Loveland. He's phenomenal. He was a huge player. Sorry about that. He's a huge player for Michigan the past few seasons. He's made plays. He's always efficient. You need a ball to get caught for Michigan. They were throwing it to Loveland. If they wanted a quick short pass, quick bubble or something like that, Colston Loveland, yeah, you're going to be our guy. I mean, he's a great player, great overall playmaker. He can block, catch, do it all. So, great player for them, and he's going to be a great player for the Bears this upcoming season. That's all I got for this segment. Next segment, we're going to kick it over to the NFL again, but we're going to talk about some surprises in the draft. After that, going to the NBA, talk about games from last night, preview the games for tonight, and then end it off talking about Elijah Arenas. We'll get to that after the break.